All right, what is going on, everybody? This is Steamman here, and this is our first episode of our podcast talking about gaming news of the week and gaming in general. If people want to introduce themselves, right there. Well, actually, it might be different for you. I don't know. Go ahead and introduce yourselves if you want to say your name or your whatever channels or anything. Don't care.
All right, yeah, I'll start off. Hi, my name's Steven. I have a dead YouTube and a dead Twitch, so I don't really upload to anything like that. I'm just here for the fun of it, but yeah, I'm just here.
Fair enough. I am Yoshi. I do have a what I'd like to say a very active Twitch. Trying to do YouTube, but not been quite up to date with it. And then you know, the usuals like TikTok, Twitter, this, that, and the other thing.
Sean? Can you guys hear him?
He's a little muffled.
Nope.
Yeah. Sean! It is
Yeah,
a
hope
muffle.
everyone's having a great night tonight, for real.
It's been pretty solid.
Absolutely.
All right, does that leave me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, that's you, buddy.
All
Tell
right,
Sean can fix it.
Well, I'm Isaiah. I don't have a Twitch or a YouTube channel, so I guess you could say it's dead or never existent. Really hyped I get to talk with Yoshi, even though he's not the dinosaur I hoped he was going to be.
We're not great.
So, you know what? But yeah, I'm pretty excited here to talk about some gaming news. Figured I'd hop in here and see where we got to go. Let's do it.
Cool. And as for Sean over here, he streams on Twitch, if you didn't hear, and his name is aggravated_hobo over there. So I'm going to look over at the topics here. Pretty much first topic is pretty simple. We found out that the PS5 is going to be getting support. It's getting VRR support, which means that certain games for like refresh rate and such will be more accurate towards certain TVs and monitors, meaning better frame rate for those games. I don't know if I have the list of games here. No, I don't, but yeah, simple little thing. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, I think I had it up, Dennis. Hold on, bud.
You did? Okay, yeah.
Yep. I just had it about 2 minutes ago. Hold on. Let's see.
Any sort of like little,
What's up, Cooking?
even if it's like tiny, to make like that little bit of a difference, makes that little bit of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly,
For sure.
Honestly, you know, I know I was never really nitpicky, but once you see the graphics from the 5 and how far they've come, it does make a huge difference.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go, Sean. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and having higher frame rates and everything is really a really nice thing. Regardless of the VRR support is a very good thing for PlayStation as a whole right now. So that's cool.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they were kind of bringing up, especially those, especially a coworker of mine, he has a Sony Bravia TV that's got the variable refresh, so that will be able to coincide with the PS5. That'll look a lot smoother, a lot cleaner.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's going to look nice. I mean, I think it was pretty smart, so everybody's got different setups, you know, everybody's got monitors, TVs, all that, you know, different types of stuff going. Some people may not be able to get, you know, certain monitors and stuff like that, so it's nice that, you know, the PS5 is starting to custom everything.
For sure.
Setups.
Yeah, I hope if Xbox hasn't done that they do that as well, because that's definitely essential for sure.
Yeah, nah.
I feel like they have. So PSVR will have eye tracking. There was a little bit of an update, but we don't know if it's coming out this year or or early next year. I'm hearing rumors it might be delayed to fall of next year. Personally, I mean, I have the VR1. I like it. I don't play it all the time though, so I don't think I'll be picking it up. But I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on PSVR 2 and the differences it might be.
So,
Anybody else want to go first? Go ahead.
yeah, actually, if I get a chance to talk about this has actually been something that's been really heavy on my mind, actually. The big thing that I'm curious about is how they're going to competitively combat against the Oculus. Right now, unfortunately, it's very clear to see, especially me being a retail worker working at GameStop. The Oculus, it's the #1 thing on the market right now, and a lot of it is because it's very easy, it's very accessible, it's one whole console. You know, it's not like how the VR was when it first came out on PlayStation, where you had to plug in like 4 different USB ports into the same thing, and then also like, on top of that, it was extremely limited. Like I will say, like, VR has came so far
Yeah.
in the last couple 2-3 years since the dawning of it, and I'm super excited to see where it's going.
Mhm.
But I'd also be I'm a little curious to see like what that final product is going to look like and how.
What makes
the
you
layout-
want to like what will make you want to buy it, you know? Because one thing for me is like, yeah, I don't play my PSVR very much, but it being wireless is a big deal to me because VR one is annoyingly stupid with the cords and the certain plugins with the HDMI's to the little box. It's pretty ignorant. So that's one of the things that would make me think about at least considering buying it, even if I have VR1 and don't use it all the time. Still, I mean, that's one plus. But I mean, aside from that, it depends on the games
Less of a
too.
hassle.
Yeah, and
Honestly, I just want something revolutionary, to be honest. Like, I know PlayStation's very good at what they do. Obviously, they've been doing this and they've been a part of this game for a long time now. And if anybody's going to put a good spin on this, it's definitely going to be either Microsoft or PlayStation. I know Microsoft has been teasing at doing their own VR system, but we haven't really got
Which would make
any
sense.
leads on that. Absolutely. So personally, like, it's kind of like what you guys said. For me, like, I would prefer less cords. But also, I want something new. I don't want them to basically be like, here is the Oculus Quest 2, but the PlayStation branded version. Like, I want it to be set aside and different. And for the love of God, I do not want those motion control, like, little nubs on top of the controllers again. Those things, I'm sorry, they were very ugly.
Oh yeah. Sean, you have an Oculus. What do you think of PSVR 2 being a thing? You know, Sean.
He's still here.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yep. Any suggestions on it or anything other than it being wireless and
I'm
such?
just waiting for a full dive system at some point here.
Yeah. We don't know much of
Working on that.
we don't know much about PSVR 2 either. Like, not a whole lot other than it's getting a Horizon Forbidden West type launch title. So like the games are a big deal too, to make you want that versus Oculus, like first party titles. So I don't know.
It makes me wonder, what type of exclusives are going to come to VR too? Like,
Yeah.
I know we had like a Spider-Man game. I would love to see like maybe like, I don't know, like I feel conflicted about a God of War game, but maybe if they could do
It
like
could work. It could work.
Yeah.
It'd
Well,
be
especially
insane having a VR
about
God
it.
of War game.
That'd be nuts.
especially because they could do a really good one where it's like, okay, let's flesh out what happened to Kratos after he got stabbed. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
fell
yeah.
into the sea and
Yeah.
met Freya. It could literally be an adventure of him falling in love through his eyes.
Mhm.
That'd be an experience that we would go through with him.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic to do.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A lot of like, there's a lot of opportunity there. Even like a Spider-Man game, they've done it before. I mean, a lot of it was just really basic, like just slinging around. But there's some opportunities for a lot of IPs and franchises that they have that they could absolutely revolutionize with VR.
They really should too, because PSVR 1.
Even coming back
Yeah.
to be scary.
Yeah. I mean PSVR 1 too. Like
I would love to play that.
PSVR 1. I don't think I have any like first party games really on it. They're all third party, I think, of the VR titles pretty much that I have. So definitely, that's a must. Sony should definitely take advantage of all that to make people want it, especially. That's like Nintendo with the Switch. They gave everyone reasons for wanting a Switch for all their different first party and third party titles. There's so much of a big selection there, you know.
Definitely.
So-
Why
It
on
was
the
trash,
Switch for
Dennis.
so long?
Wait, what now?
Didn't you say Nintendo was trash?
Shut up.
Shameless plug of the skit. Thank you.
So I'll skip over some of these for the moment since we were on the topic of God of War. So God of War Ragnarok, we got some interesting news recently that it was definitely going to come out this year, but they weren't ready to show anything off yet for the game because they are not showing anything off until they are 100% ready and confident. So I don't know whether it's going to be in a Sony event or if Summer Game Fest, maybe we'd get something on God of War Ragnarok. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Man, that one's also like, man, PlayStation. I'm a really big PlayStation guy, so like I followed a lot of their IPs and like just their general like news more than anything else.
Mhm.
And I know this is a little bit off topic, but like the whole E3 thing, like with it just being canceled now for 3 years in a row, it makes me sad that there's not going to be any big announcements there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do feel like more than likely what's going to happen is PlayStation's just going to end up taking like their own, like basically more like their own direct.
Mhm.
I feel like.
Yeah, which is what they normally do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Like, yeah, we
think it's
get...
just gonna
We,
pop up when
yeah, there's Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, but I don't think we're going to see it there. I feel like Sony will do their own thing once Santa Monica Studios says they're ready to show off some gameplay and stuff for God of War Ragnarok. They'll get one ready and give us a date or whatever or maybe it might get its... I think it'll get its own direct, actually, because Horizon Forbidden West had its own direct that was like 20 minutes long. So, and now there's a cat that's going to bug me in here. Cool. So, yeah, that's what I'd say on that. I mean, I'm assuming you probably all pretty much agree there. It'll probably just get its own direct sometime this summer. It'll probably get its own direct.
I mean, I'm always open for pleasant surprises. I'm cool with them shaking it up and doing something unique, but
Yeah, true.
I guess it's just-
I don't know if Sony like I think it was last year when they did that direct where they showed Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Wolverine. Like that direct and Final Fantasy 15, or maybe it was. I think it was last year, but that direct was absolutely insane. Like I don't know if they'll top that for a while. Like that truly was crazy, that direct that they had. So this is a small topic, but I found it kind of weird that Nintendo decided to do this. They decided to flip dates between Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Splatoon 3, because Splatoon 3 was supposed to be like a July type deal, and then Xenoblade, because it was supposed to be summer, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was supposed to be September. It had a September release date, and then they like basically flipped them. So I don't know why, but I guess both games must be pretty much good to go. They just are doing touch-ups and stuff on them for months.
One, yeah, was like further along than they thought it would be at the time. So, and the other one.
Yeah, and
wasn't.
plus
so it's kinda like-
Splatoon as well is also a multiplayer thing. So like, it makes more sense that they would need more time on that anyways versus a single
Probably,
player
like,
game.
servers, stuff like that type deal.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, polishing, you name it.
Anyway,
So
I mean, that Xenoblade game is looking fantastic. I'm super excited to see
Mhm.
like exactly where that's going. I saw the trailer for it actually when I was at work earlier.
Mhm.
And man, like I kind of sat there and I was like, when did this become a mech game and why do I want it all of a sudden? Like,
I haven't played I haven't played Xenoblade. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if the gameplay couldn't capture me or what, but everyone loves those games so much. So it's like I don't. Maybe eventually I'll play the first one because since you can get it cheaper now, I don't know. For you
the
what?
big thing is like the second game is really expensive as well. Like
Mhm.
you can find it on like
Yeah.
eBay for like $200 on the store.
Jeez.
It's nuts. Like it's one of the biggest price gougers we get.
And them having those characters in Smash too, like that really pushed it up.
Just shot it up.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
most definitely.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
some
any character that gets added to Smash.
It's
it gets
awesome.
stuff. Yeah, it
Right,
gets
for
things more
sure.
popular. Anything else there? Nothing.
Not,
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
I can think of.
Okay. So here's a controversial topic that let me get the thing open here to talk about Halo Infinite. This game was amazing when it came out, okay? It was like Halo's back, this game's fun, this is great. Well, first off, its player base is plummeting all the time like crazy. It's not Battlefield bad, but like it's plummeting, and they revealed Season 2's roadmap, but it's kind of I don't know. It's very iffy. Like they're adding 3 new modes, only 2 new maps, and like what's called an alpha pack, new tier system, campaign network co-op. That says August target. That might be towards Season 3 because I guess they're not doing campaign co-op until Season 3. So thoughts on Halo Infinite?
Co-op campaign is one whole story in itself.
Yeah.
Because me personally, I was super excited for it. I was like, I'm gonna hop on, run the whole campaign, like full nostalgia. You know, me and my buddy like get on, and it's like, no,
Mhm.
you gotta do it solo. That's all you got.
Someone
I
in
was just kind
so,
of myself a huge disappointment.
someone in chat says they need to remake Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I completely can't agree with that. There's a lot of people who want that, and someone also says don't talk smack about Halo Infinite.
Listen, with
Debatable.
that,
debatable.
With the talk of remakes, like I'm forever shouting, we need another Dino Crisis. That's all
I have someone who continues to want that. Yeah, they speaking of Capcom, that one like dinosaur game that they revealed that's like Dino Crisis but not. That looks like where you fight all the hordes of dinosaurs. That looks interesting, to say the least.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to Halo Infinite, I don't know. I feel like they should have. I don't know what they should have done different, but it seems like they really needed more to bring people back sooner. I don't know, because I don't think Season 2 is going to bring people back for very long, people who do revisit it. Because, like, it's a fun game, but you need more there to really keep people going. And Season 1 lasted so long before Season 2, and a lot of people maxed out their stuff or whatever, and even people who didn't, it was like, eh.
It was like almost like kind of a lack of content.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Mr. Phantom, thanks for the follow, dude.
And, like the different game modes, and then like the maps and stuff like that, and then like they'd have like your cosmetics in store that you could purchase whatever. But even those, they'd like re-rotate the same stuff that they'd already had a couple weeks ago, and it's like. You couldn't have made anything else, kind of. I don't know.
I won't lie. I was a little mixed feelings when they included like the cat ears to Spartans. Like, it was just like a fun time.
Debatable stuff like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm a really big like lore nut when it comes to Halo, so I'm thinking of like these super soldiers that are like above human and see themselves above human, and it's just like.
What you don't like Master you don't like Master Chief's butt cheeks?
Listen, I believe in
The show?
supremacy, man. That guy can cook a mean burger if he wants to.
Master Chef, yeah, I gotcha.
While we're talking about Halo, how's everyone feel about that like live action series that recently popped up?
That's why I mentioned Master Chief's butt cheeks.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it, but I watched so many clips on it, and I just episode 5 apparently was an improvement because there was finally a battle, but every time there was an action scene, like Master Chief isn't silent because he's supposed to be all business, and then like there's a part where he's like shooting a guy, he's yelling and then they show his face under the helmet when he's yelling, and it's like even that, like, you didn't have to do that,
5 episodes to have a battle.
Apparently, yeah, there was only like a 1 minute, not even one, in episode 1, I guess, and then episode 2 was all about the Halo lore of its politics and stuff, and then 3 and 4 I don't remember much, but I know they were showing Master Chief butt cheeks all over and stuff. That's all I know. That's all I know about.
I know one of the biggest arguments that was brought up with the live action is the obvious infinite, or the scene where he takes off the helmet, and the director said that the sole reason that he did that was to show Master Chief in a more human light,
Which is understandable, I guess, but
my slight tweak that I personally would have done, in my opinion, you can have the character show their face without having them show their face.
yes,
You could have
absolutely.
panned the camera
And here's an example.
kept everyone in.
And here's an example I always go back to with this. I will always go back to this, The Mandalorian. They didn't show his face till the end of the season, but they did it right. And then season 2, yeah, you see his face maybe once or twice, but they do it in the correct kind of ways. The one time he was forced to take his helmet off even though he didn't want to, inside of a place with all these dudes around him that will kill him, so he had no choice. And then at the end of the season, it was like, oh, Grogu, So, I mean, the way they did that was right, whereas Halo's just kind of, it feels so forced, the way they're showing his face, It feels forced, and not to mention the writers of the show also, they didn't read any of the books or play any of the games, so they don't even know much of the lore. They're kind of just, I don't know what they're going off of.
Throw it at the wall, see what happens, huh?
I guess.
Literally.
Yeah. Isaiah, you got anything?
Nope, I'm good. You guys are hitting all the points so far.
Gotcha. So yeah, Halo Infinite Season 2, I might revisit it a little bit, but I don't know. It's adding campaign DLC to the campaign too, so I mean, since it's free, well, the campaign isn't, but the multiplayer is, so that's another thing. Like, people like.
It is cool that, yeah, it's a free multiplayer.
But at least the campaign, to be honest, you can get quite a chunk of hours out of it because it's open world, which is a new, unique style for Halo, which it actually worked pretty well. And it's getting free DLC for the story. So I mean, if you already bought the campaign, I mean, that's a win there. I mean, I'll check it out at least, the campaign stuff for sure, because Halo.
Me personally, when I was playing like the multiplayer, the one thing I did like was they had the weekly rewards that you could get. So if you completed all of your weekly challenges and then unlocked like the special weekly reward and then completed that one, you got like some special in-game item. But it was cool because it kind of brought back like the only way you could get items is actually playing the game and like beating challenges and stuff instead of just buying cosmetics in the store. And,
Yeah, the cosmetic thing.
Unique items and whatnot every week and kind of thing.
And I think
that was one thing that drew me kind of into trying to grind it for a little bit.
And another thing is they made it a little too grindy. They need to lighten that up and fix that a little bit. Like, you need a lot of hours in to max out your level system or whatever to 100 or whatever. It takes just so many hours. Well, we've all played a lot of hours of Elden Ring. Probably everyone here. I don't know if maybe not Isaiah. I don't think he's played it, but the rest of us have.
It's about if you want to put that many hours in.
I might have been 100 hours before I even got to the fire giant.
Exactly. Right, yeah.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
180-ish hours, something now.
It's
I've been doing
nuts.
my best to avoid spoilers. It's hard, man, because like there's just so many people like that have been telling me like, dude, you just gotta beat it already. But I still
Yeah, I've done 3 playthroughs, and you probably played more than me as it is. I played about 170 hours, I think, for 3 playthroughs and platinum it. So yeah, so you know, level 300.
Well, also, I came to find out, I guess there's 165 different bosses in the game.
Really?
Now, I wonder if that includes the repeat
There we go.
bosses that were kind of
I upped their volume.
I'm assuming, like how you fight like the ghost form, not ghost form in different areas and stuff like that. But I can't remember exactly from where. I was reading up. Because it was there because you only need 5 main bosses, kind of thing. But there was someone that completed a playthrough and beat all like 165 bosses or something like that.
And
pretty crazy, though.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, I was
so
looking at the world records and whatnot, kind of thing. You know, all the speed runs. And
let me solo her.
Let me solo her. Yeah,
Speaking of that, Sean sent me a link. I guess the PC version has a mod to add him as a summon, which I find that absolutely awesome.
I seen that. That.
Yeah, that's so cool. So Nintendo Switch Sports is out this week. So that's cool. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Wii Sports obviously was fantastic back in the day and sold over 80 million copies. And there was Wii Sports Resort, which apparently was really good. Is really good as well. Thankfully, you can use your Miis in Nintendo Switch Sports. And it's gonna add free DLC with golf and other stuff. But I don't think there's much worth of like mini games and stuff. So I don't know how I feel about that. And then soccer as well. I guess I don't think you can face players right off the bat. I guess you can just like kick into the goal kind of thing. So I don't know. What do you guys think of Nintendo Switch Sports?
Is there bowling?
Yes,
Yeah,
at least there's bowling.
All I know is my dad's been telling me all week he's gonna beat me at bowling, so I'll be playing. So
the thing that makes me a little sad is I genuinely enjoyed the mini games, especially when it came to the basketball mini games.
Yeah.
The shooting contests were a lot of fun, and it made me really sad to see that wasn't at least initially returning. I know that's probably something that might be coming later on down the road with the free updates and everything, but it made me a little bittersweet to not see that just straight off the bat, honestly, you know?
Right.
Someone says they hope it's as good as Wii Sports Resort. Completely agree. It might not be right off the bat, though, unfortunately. It might be a while because they're doing free DLC and all that, you know? Like, we don't get golf at launch. Hopefully they add mini games and such over time outside of just adding just the sports themselves. I'm sure they have quite a few that they'll add.
So the sword fighting, actually, the interesting thing about that, sorry, I saw someone mention that. The cool thing with that is they actually now have a dual sword mode that you can do.
Dual, that's cool.
Yeah, so you've got 3 different options that you can do. You can do the standard sword play, then you can do what is called the charge sword play, where you actually kind of sit there and you don't attack for a second, your sword will kind of light up and glow different colors to do extra, like, more power for your attacks. And then there is a dual wield option that you can do as well, which I can already see people just going ham.
That's cool.
with
Yeah,
those
yeah.
alone.
I don't know why people complain. Like I seen a video earlier talking about it. Someone complaining about the sword. I forget the name of the sword mode, but that in Wii Sports. Okay, yeah, in Wii Sports Resort, you are higher up, and then it's a smaller platform, and when they fall, it's like way further down and stuff. And in this, it's not. But I don't think that's a big deal. You know.
Basically, Wii Sports Resort, it felt like it kind of looked like Wipeout, to be honest with you. Like the platform, it kind of made it feel like Wipeout. Like the platform was higher up. You knock them off. It felt like you were actually pretty much lighting them up, knocking them right off.
Yeah.
Wii Sports Switch Sports. Now I'm trying to keep saying Wii Sports all the time still. But Switch Sports, I think they're kind of making it, compared to those, a little milder. So it might not be, detail for detail, but it'll look somewhat similar. It's gonna try to follow the same pattern at least.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at least, they keep the main gist, of course, with updates. They can add a lot.
Absolutely.
I will admit that was probably one of my favorites from Resort, besides the wakeboarding. That was cool too.
Yeah. There's so much potential for the game, and I think it'll add content for at least 2 to 3 years. I want to say at least, because no doubt the game's going to sell a ton. There's a chance it could end up being the best-selling Nintendo Switch game in the future. So, because it'll be one of those games that every Nintendo Switch user wants to have eventually,
And just
down the line.
Yeah, nice game to have, just to play kind of thing at any point, really.
And it has
Just like
online,
Wii
whereas Wii Sports and stuff, I don't think it had online. I don't remember. No, it was a launch title.
Dude, I don't even think I had internet, so
Yeah.
I had it, and I don't remember there being online play for it. At least for Resort. I don't know about Sports, but the other thing that also kind of makes me a little sad is they don't have a baseball game mode as well. That's another one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually really solid. I mean, maybe they might be going through and doing changes and try to revamp it and bring it back to a new style and everything. Completely possible, but like it does, like, that. It's literally baseball and basketball are the two that we're missing right now, and I'm really sad about it, to be honest.
Yeah, basketball would be fun too. I don't think I really played much Resorts, so I'm assuming it's pretty fun to do. Especially with this, obviously they're taking advantage of the motion controls, thank goodness, as well, because it would have been, no one would have bought it if it didn't have all the motion controls that we know and love. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to
Personally, I think I should throw a dodgeball in there, to be honest with you.
that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun for sure.
That'd be very unique, honestly.
Honestly, I mean, think about it. How many dodgeball games have they done?
You know what?
Yeah.
They could do kickball too. With the addition, with the addition of that leg strap, they could absolutely do kickball, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hear the way you kick the soccer ball too. It's like it's almost like you actually are kicking like a real soccer ball, which that's kind of cool too. You just need the space, but that's cool.
Right, and it was smart that they put the leg strap. That's what I always thought about, was why they put it higher up on your leg. It's so if you put it on your ankle, it's not just you risk swinging off your ankle. So that was smart. They put it higher on your.
It's perfect, absolutely. And I heard the way that the controls work is just as good as Ring Fit Adventure, for example. Very great, very excellent. Like if you compare that to Wii Sports, or not Wii Sports, Wii Fit days, Ring Fit Adventure is so much better. Like it's actually got a story mode. It's an RPG with turn-based workout combat. Freaking it's awesome. It's so much fun. Like, it's so much better than anything Nintendo's done before when it comes to innovation for a workout type thing. I absolutely love it when I do use it.
Yeah, I remember when Marky was using it at your place. He almost died.
Yeah, it's tough. It gets tough. Like, when you get in the puddles and stuff, you got to do high knees. Like, it's freaking, the levels and it gets harder and harder, too. Like, I just recently started using it again. I used it today. And, like, I only could do one level today, the stretches before, the one level, and the stretches after, because the enemies get harder and more difficult. It's not even the workouts themselves. It's the fact that there's enemies even that can, like, heal themselves and stuff. It's ridiculous. Like, it gets tough, but it's super cool. It's a super cool RPG.
Absolutely.
So, 2 more topics here. One of them is Sonic Origins. that's coming out, it's kind of weird. It has multiple editions. It has a standard edition. Then there's a Start Dash pack, Premium Fun pack, Classic Music pack, and then there's the Digital Deluxe edition, which I'm assuming comes with all that. I think they all have separate prices, but I don't have the price details at the moment. But it's kind of weird how they're like confusing people with their prices on Sonic Origins. I don't know if the two of you that work at GameStop know a little bit more about it.
Honestly, I didn't even really know about this until I had a guest that specifically came in and asked for the game by name. And I was just like, well, hold up, what's this? Completely, unfortunately, took me by complete surprise. But it's something that I'm trying my best to understand and keep an eye on, but unfortunately, I am very much in the dark. I don't know about Isaiah, but...
Isaiah, do you know anything?
I did. I took a little look into it the other day while I was at work. You know, I think I'm kind of glad they're doing these kinds of collections because if my memory serves me right, there should be a good number of games on it.
It's 4. It's Sonic 1, 2, 3, and there's another one in there.
Yeah, and I think they had it was I want to say it was Sonic 3, and then they had the there was like a CD I think that they were including in it with it too. You get like basically I think the pre-order, you know, the bonus was you got like all these different coins that you can use, you know. Before I thought Sonic
Mania was really good. Sonic Mania was cool.
I remember I played that a little bit. That wasn't too bad. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool, except for June, I believe. Steve knows I got release dates stuck in my head for some reason.
Absolutely.
I know it's that. I think it's June 23rd. I believe that's when it's supposed to come out. But honestly, I think it's cool. I think anytime they kind of do like an old-fashioned remaster, I think, especially Sonic. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Sonic games. I don't think. You know.
Mass Mischief, thanks for the follow, dude.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool, especially with the movie that just came out. I thought that was kind of cool. They were in another collection, so
it is nice. It's just weird how there's multiple different purchases on it. You know, like why can't they just do a regular edition and then the deluxe edition? You know, 2 different editions. There's 5 different things on there to pay for. Like if you get the regular edition, then there's multiple different things on there that you can pay for, and I think that's kind of weird. You know.
Well, and you see, and that's one thing I'm glad you touched on. It's. You know, that goes right back to microtransactions, man. I think, you know, I get, you know, some games, okay, it works for you. You know, that's where you make your money, and I get it. But especially Sonic stuff like this, where it's a classic game. You're totally right. If Steve can relate to this too, when we're working, I mean, we get games. There's like 5 different editions of it, and we're like, okay, can there just be like 2? Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, I have no
game out here. Every single game out here nowadays has to have the standard edition, then you got the special edition, then you have the ultra special edition, and then you've got the ultimate edition, then you got the collector's edition, and then you've got the Let Loose edition, and like
an ultra deluxe mega pre-order.
Yeah, it's like a phone. It's just like a phone. It's like you got your iPhone 10, then the 10s, then the 10R, then the 10XYZ, and then the 10 this, and I'm like, okay, whoa, just calm it down. I just want the iPhone crying out loud.
It's absolutely crazy just how many different editions are being thrown on. And the worst part about it is, like, they add in, like, okay, you get an exclusive armor set with this, so we're going to hike it up another $30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this one you get the digital art book and the digital soundtrack, so that's another $40 we're going to add on top of also that armor set. Oh, you want the season pass? All right, that's going to be a part of the complete edition. All right, the collector's edition. Like, it seems
insane.
to go up and up more and more.
It was so
it's just nuts.
It was so much more simplistic 10 years ago, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, now you get the deluxe and then the collectors, and you're already at almost like $200, $300, and I'm like, okay, whoa, that's for all. There's very few collector's editions where I'm like, okay, that now if they do a Spider-Man 2 collector's edition, you have my money. Just take it. But, you know,
Take my money.
You know, that's a whole different story, though. But, I mean, you don't have to do it for every single game. Just have 2
for
editions,
real.
one basic one, and then one deluxe. Get a couple extra things. You don't have to throw the whole package with it, you know.
While we're being nitpicky as well, please, for the love of God, I would love it if like the pre-order weapons and armors and stuff like that actually mattered in late game. It seems like a lot of times you get those pre-orders where it's like, this is a really cool armor set, and you're like, I'm so happy with that. Or you'll get these weapons, and they're only good to your level 20. And it's like, I paid $20 extra to get 20 levels of the early game for this weapon, and now it is useless.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve,
It's so
you
frustrating.
Hey, Steve, you want a nightmare flashback about GameStop?
Please don't say
Oh,
anything
boy,
about
let-
Anthem. I
I'm gonna
swear
say
if you say,
No.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We gotta hear it.
was gonna say minty pickaxe.
Oh god.
Minty pickaxe. What?
No, so it was Christmas, right? It was this had to be. I think it was 2018 or 19, and it was when Fortnite they had that stupid little minty pickaxe thing. It was a free code that GameStop gave away.
Yep.
And I kid you not, I can't be making this up. Steve knows because he was there too. We got probably at least 50 calls a day just asking about that pickaxe code. And it was completely free. It had no upgrades.
Someone in chat had got it. Hey, remember?
Yes, it was literally no upgrade. Because I don't know anything about Fortnite. I was completely illiterate. And I asked one of these kids that came in, I'm like, hey, this minty pickaxe thing I'm about to give you, does it actually do any more damage or anything in game? He said, no, just to make your axe look cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see why I don't play Fortnite right now. So that's glad for you for me.
To be honest, in a way,
I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if you're gonna do something like that, make it something like if you have it, it actually has value, it's rare, and actually gives you an advantage in the game. That way, not everybody can get it. It's only a limited time thing.
To be honest, Pokemon's kind of done similar stuff where you got to go into GameStop to get a specific card for a specific Pokemon or something, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think even I think they've even done that with like Pokemon Go related stuff as well, even.
Yeah.
Where you got to do specific things, go to specific places to get things. Different games.
People will come in and be like, "Oh yeah, you know it's a Pokemon gym," and I'm like, sometimes I'll just get a little. I mean, Steve knows me. I'll get a little punny, and I'm like, "Oh, Pokemon gym, huh? Do they got Pikachu themed dumbbells? Because I'm in."
Yeah. I'm a really big Pokemon supporter. I'm a big fan for a long time, but honestly, one thing that I wasn't upset about, truthfully told, like I didn't mind when Sword and Shield got DLC.
No, I didn't either.
Honestly, I know there were some people out there that didn't like that, but I'm a really big fan of like them actually stretching out a game. I'm kind of starting to get sick and tired of like every single year. It feels like I'm buying the same game over and over.
Yeah, and the thing I had an issue with, I love Gen 4, Diamond and Pearl so much, and then they came out with these remakes. Actually, they're remasters technically because they're like the same. There's nothing really new from the originals, like. Whereas Gen 3, back when they did Gen 3, they added a bunch of new stuff. The Gen 4 remakes, there wasn't much new there. The best parts were fighting the Elite Four and Cynthia, of course, because they were still challenging.
That's really, like, when I looked at it, the only thing that I saw fundamentally different between the old school game and the new game was like, okay, so your sprites follow you around, and they're a little more updated. But also, it's like, not to be that guy, but like you have a massive giant space dinosaur and you're this little tiny kid and you're both the same size.
Yeah.
Like that also kind of didn't sit well. I loved it in Sword and Shield where it actually represented the size of the Pokemon. But when they did that in Diamond and Pearl, it was just a little weird feeling. Like I loved the chibi art. It was very cute, but it was just also at the same time like something that is way larger than what it normally should be. It's just a little itty bitty.
Yeah. Definitely, and that's why Arceus, I mean, there's not much to say other than it's a really fun, great game. I mean, sure, graphically, Game Freak should improve, but honestly, I don't see them really improving for a long time just because they push out games so dang quick. You know? So like
even with the limited specs, they still did a fantastic job with what they had.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. For sure.
I mean, I think selling out about 20 times will definitely say it's a great game.
Yeah, it's Pokemon, man. Pokemon is the highest selling franchise ever, man. I don't think GameStop will ever not do a midnight release for a Pokemon game.
Oh, no.
Like, literally.
Honestly, I think we'd have riots like going old school.
Yeah.
Pitchforks.
Like, literally, all right, if we go back to 2020, Sword and Shield had DLC, but if a new Pokemon game was coming out, dude, and there was a huge outbreak of this illness, people would be standing outside wanting their Pokemon at midnight regardless. They would not care, dude. If you guys were closed, you'd have people there all night till 7 a.m. needing their Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, no, it's legit. I mean, we'd have people out there, you'd look out the window and, everything just be going nuts. Barren wasteland. People just be standing there like, look, I know the world's about to end, but I want that new Pokemon. That's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
Where is my nuclear Charizard, man?
I can honestly, it's sad that I can see that though, especially around our city. I can see that.
Absolutely.
So
I
that's
pre-ordered it. I got the receipt.
Like, look, I know. I'm probably about to die in at least 5 minutes here, but please, I need my pre-order bonus. Okay.
It always was like a
That's
drug
gonna,
deal.
that's
then.
gonna last. That pre-order bonus that'll last the first 20 minutes of the game.
Hey man, you got the stuff? Yeah, I got the stuff.
It's like you know, GameStop
Fly the
would be like,
package
hey,
to your door.
He'd be like, hey man, you got the stuff? Yeah, I got that Brilliant Star pack. What, you need it? Yeah, sure. Man.
All right, man, just $4. You know, slide it on down.
Hey, it's all right, man. I got your cards right here. There you go. No, man. You pick them up? You want drugs? No. I want Pokemon cards. Screw the drugs. I want Pokemon.
Dude, well, okay, so speaking of that, like I know this isn't related to the weekly news, but like, were you guys working at GameStop, either one of you, when Pokemon cards blew up, like when it exploded? Like, I'm so curious what
really
went down with
funny
that.
story with this.
Multiple times.
So I took a leave from GameStop for a year, and I worked at Target.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if anybody fully knows, but so we had this like whole like craze where like out of nowhere Target started limiting what they sold and like told certain people why, or they didn't say why. It just told them like, you know, you can only get X amount of packs, like 3, and you can only buy 1 ETB and stuff like that. But they didn't specifically say why, and a lot of people were just like, that's stupid. I don't know if you guys know, but I actually found out the reason from corporate itself. Someone got stabbed in a Target parking lot, and Meijer, Target, and Walmart all decided to limit cards, and GameStop followed suit. Apparently, there was a really big set that came out. A person walked out late night, right before closing one night for Target, and got attacked in the parking lot. And because of that, that started that whole like Pokemon like limit craze, right when it was like at its peak.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guy had like or the person, may I say, I don't even know if it was a dude. No idea if they had like a super expensive card or anything like that, or if it was just like someone was desperate enough and if it was a big purchase, but it was absolutely crazy. Especially when I was working at Target, like Pokemon cards were flying off the shelves.
Oh, for a little bit there,
That's an
for
understatement.
sure. They still go after a day too, like, because I work at Meijer. I know when they restock on Thursdays. So if I want some, I'll buy some, sure. But if you go in the next day, they're gone. They're absolutely gone because people just know when they know the restock day. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just tell customers, you know, when I see the cards, I'm like, hello, and then the next 2 seconds I'm saying goodbye already because they're already gone. So it's these cards, man. Steve, I can actually, you know, relate to you on that. Best Buy was just as bad.
Oh yeah.
People would come in. Oh my gosh, they'd be like, "Man, you guys don't have any cards?" I'm like, "Dude, those cards have been non-existent for about a year." That's how it feels, you know. But it's just, and honestly, Steve, I hate to say it, man. Am I surprised someone got stabbed over those cards? Nah, because I've seen people go nuts about these cards. Not that I'm not condoning that by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah,
but
you look at
like,
Brilliant
wow.
Stars, and they have I think it's a VMAX Charizard right now.
Yep.
That is worth $300 out of a box.
That blows my mind.
I can absolutely see that happening.
Yeah.
I can see someone doing that. It's the same thing with like, you know, even like other card games like Magic the Gathering. There are certain cards and sets that are just naturally
and if you
at launch.
And if you buy like an ETB or anything sealed product, dude, it's gonna skyrocket within its 6 months to a year. Once it goes out of stock, man, that stuff it shoots like Celebrations. I have the GameStop exclusive box. Thankfully, like one sealed product from Celebrations, I decided to not open because I figured 5 years from now, dude, that stuff's gonna be worth.
Gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
expensive.
especially the 25th anniversary, and it's the GameStop exclusive item. Like, yeah.
I mean, it just my mind, you know, like so one card, just even one card could be worth so much. That just blows my mind to this day.
It's
Like
nuts.
that friggin' Black Lotus and Magic the Gathering.
I'm literally actually looking that up right now to tell like the price about that, 'cause I was just about to bring that up. Just to put it in perspective, like you can get a sealed pack of what is like alpha Magic Gathering cards, which is like pretty much the first ever set that ever came out. And in there's a card called the Black Lotus, and for people that don't know, it's not necessarily it's not necessarily like a super powerful card or anything. Like technically it is. I'm not going to go into logistics of that, but that card, if you get it and it's in good condition and you sell it, it is worth. They have one listed right now on TCG Player for $60,000.
Okay, no way.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can find unopened packs of Alpha without even knowing the chances of having a Black Lotus. And those things are easily 20 to 30 grand alone.
That is crazy.
It's absolutely
You're
insane,
telling me
man.
if
So-
I found that card, I could be like, you know what? Here, I'm,
Okay, hang on,
okay, right
hang on.
there.
Pay
I have-
off a house
I
with
have-
a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a good example here.
nuts.
So my brother got me this for my birthday too, right? This is a graded card, base at 2. It's only a PSA 7 Charizard, and this is like a $300 card, and it's only a 7, and it's a base set 2. So if you can find a PSA 10, base set 1 Charizard, those things go for like at least like 6 to 10 grand, maybe more.
Holy
Like
moly.
it's ridiculous. Even the newer Chargers are the same way. The newer ones are the same way. The newer Charizards. They're worth thousands
Even-
if they're PSA 10
like-
graded.
Old classic like
honestly-
Yu-Gi-Oh cards and whatnot too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised Logan Paul didn't get attacked when he wore that card out. I'm honestly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple things that he's from the WrestleMania to the other one. He's worn a couple different cards, and it's
I mean, he
Hey.
also did get scammed a lot of money when he first like tried to get that card. I don't know if you know about that whole story, but like he did go through and try to chase a set and
oh yeah
got
yep.
scammed because he just had
Wow.
full
Yeah, on
knowledge.
eBay. Yep.
Yep.
Oh man, good old
Yep.
eBay.
And that honestly probably was the thing that pushed eBay to start their new card system for people not to be able to scam other people with sealed products and such. Because you can normally tell when normal cards are fake, but sealed products are hard to be able to tell, and sometimes it's very difficult.
Absolutely.
Wow. It's hard to get a seal of approval, huh?
So there's one more big topic here, and I have the list here of the things on it as well. Game Boy Advance games have been leaked for the Switch online service.
Take my money. I'm in.
I completely agree. So the games that were listed so far are Astro Boy, Omega Factor, Car Battle Joe, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Choo Choo Rocket, Drill Dozer, Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Game & Watch Gallery 4, Golden Sun The Lost Age, Gunstar Superheroes, Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Koro Koro Puzzle Happy Panichu, Kururin,
Say that 5 times
Hey,
fast.
Dennis, hey, I don't mean to interrupt you. I give you props for trying to pronounce this stuff. Just as bad, probably even worse.
Lufia, The Ruins of Lore, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga,
Oh, damn.
Mario Golf Advance Tour,
my God.
Mario Kart Super Circuit,
I'm dead.
Mario Party Advance, Mario
My grave's cut.
Mario Tennis Power Tour,
Oh
Mar-
my gosh, he's killing me.
uh,
Mario heaven right now. Holy crap.
Mario vs Donkey Kong,
Oh, I'm out.
Mega Man Battle Network 2, Mega Man Battle Network 5, Team Proto Man, Mega Man 03, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Mr. Driller 2, Ninja 5-0, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire,
Holy moly.
Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3,
Oh, I'm
Super Robot Tyson Original Generation, Tactical Ogre The Knight of Lotus, finally one of these, The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap,
Nice.
War
There we
I'm
go.
playing
Yeah.
that forever.
Wario Land 4, and Yoshi's Island Super Mario Advance 3.
Hey.
So that's the list of games coming, supposedly leaked for the launch. I don't know if it's 100% launch, but
Lot
for
of freaking games.
Nintendo Switch Online service with GBA games.
That's nuts, honestly.
If
Yeah.
it's leaked, then you might want to fix it, man. You need a wrench?
I think you might need a wrench to fix yourself after
I
that.
don't think.
Shoot, no, I need more than a wrench to fix what I just went through. Holy crap.
I don't even. I don't even think that's a leak, man. That's a whole
Okay,
dam just breaking,
I'm not
dude.
gonna-
It
I'm not
is.
gonna lie
That
to
is
you.
nuts.
Look, Dennis, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I've seen leaks before. Now, I mean, I've seen pipes leak and all that stuff. But I'm talking about game stuff right now.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've seen leaks like that. That is not a leak. I find that hard to believe that someone can make that up. Honestly.
True. This is like 30 games. 25
I'm about
to
I'd
30
get like
games.
That's a
2 or 3
massive
games.
list.
Yeah,
Like, if
and
they
that's
give me
just
2
to
or 3 games,
start.
I'd be like, okay.
Whoever leaked that, like, if that ends up being real, like, we're gonna
fired.
have to keep a close eye on them, to be honest, because that's
Switch Online.
Yeah.
Follow up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't even have Switch Online right now, and that's something I'll definitely pay for that for a whole year just because GBA, like, we all grew up with the little handhelds and such, and
Yes.
there's hundreds of games for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy. There's hundreds of good games that are there.
What can I say? I like the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, they
I need a
also
Dreamcast,
I
seriously.
I think what's good about the online service that, like, it sucks that they had raised their prices for like family prices and all that stuff, but they added the Mario Kart DLC on there for free for people. They just added I think they just added it the Splatoon 2 DLC, the Octoling DLC.
Yep.
They just added that on there. And we're going to be getting GBA games. We have the Sega games and the N64 games and all that stuff. And there's not a lot more N64 games I think they can add. But Game Boy has a huge variety of games. So, like, and a lot of them, most of them, I don't think they will have any licensing issues with. And they can just keep going and going and going for a long time, adding even just a few games a month or like 10 games a month or whatever. Like, there's so much I could keep going with. Anyone remember the old school Rocket Power games on Game Boy Color? I
Yes,
don't.
sir.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it.
I unfortunately
Yes,
missed
sir.
that entire era of gaming.
If I,
makes me really
if
sad.
remembering it, you mean completely not remembering at all?
Is he
Then
cooking?
yes, I remember it.
Yeah. Game Boy, I was more of a having a good.
I played Superstar Saga though. I can tell you that. Mario and Luigi.
Yeah. Game Boy, it was all about Pokemon for me when I was younger, more than anything. But Mario was in there and Zelda was in there and stuff. But
Dennis, you played Pokemon? Nah, I don't believe it one bit.
Not him.
hey, I'm not wearing any Pokemon stuff right now.
Surprisingly.
Dennis, dude, I think we know you, buddy. I think we know Pokemon is like your middle name.
I know Kingdom Hearts is my middle name.
Dude, that is a long middle name. Kingdom Hearts Pokemon? Or Pokemon Kingdom Hearts?
I don't know about that. Kingdom Hearts over Pokemon any day for me.
There you go.
Regardless of the confusion of Kingdom Hearts. That Kingdom Hearts 4 trip, I mean, I still haven't got a new chair. My chair's broken, man.
Or when, people at GameStop
Sure.
they said Kingdom of Hearts.
Oh, Kingdom of the Hearts. Oh my god.
Oh.
Dude, that drove me. I was dying laughing every time someone would say it. 'Cause you know Emily, Dennis, it drive her nuts.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, gosh.
That's Final Fantasy over Kingdom Hearts. Don't at me. Well, I can't disagree because Kingdom Hearts can be very confusing unless you really understand all of the games. So, I mean, it depends on the person. Like, I grew up with them. Kingdom Hearts was, like, the first game. That and Mario Sunshine were the first games I ever had beaten.
Yes.
So, when I was, like, 5. So, I mean, it depends on what you grew up with or how you played a game or whatever. You know?
That's it.
Yeah. Sean, what was, like, your first, like, major games you played? You're older than us, so.
Oh, God. You're calling me out, aren't you?
Thanks, shoot.
Yeah, you're an old man. Tell us.
Hey, look, you don't look a day over 23, dude. You're
He does, yeah, no, he does look, exactly, he looks younger.
Yeah, you know how old I actually am, though?
I don't know if do you really want to say? I don't know if I want to know.
I'm gonna say you're 31.
No.
Am I too
Please
high or
tell
too
me.
low?
Please tell me it's younger. Tell me it's younger.
No.
Oh, come on, no.
Right?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
No way.
It's
I
crazy.
can't believe that.
Yeah.
This
You have
year,
a-
I will be 41.
You're kidding me.
See, he doesn't look
Okay,
that
no,
at all.
Look, if I had to guess like Steve, I honestly would have guessed at least 30, like early 30s. That's what I would have
Yeah.
guessed.
I remember when the first Nintendo Power came out.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you know, that's not that bad. I mean, it's not that long ago. You know.
It was like 86, I think, 85, 86,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
I mean, we could say that. You know, it wasn't that long ago. 80s. Nah, that was, you know.
I had a ColecoVision when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
really. I can't help you out.
No,
Yeah, you can't help.
I still have a Game Gear.
Oh, come on, dude. You're killing me.
No,
I can't help you out here.
I do.
For real, Sean, what was your first like major games that you like played and beat that you can remember?
Played Mario, played a lot of Contra, played Zelda a lot. I remember I used to have the gold cartridge for the
There
Nintendo.
it is.
God, there's so many games back in the day.
So many classics. They were good.
It really is.
It's funny because like 10 years ago, people like weren't into retro games and all that stuff like they are now. Like nowadays, it all really blew up, you know. Like
You know, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
of course.
I still have the original in the case with the book.
Dang.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's crazy.
It's on
So
the garage right now.
so I gotta ask Isaiah and Steven, are there any
Mm-hmm.
recent weird GameStop stories that have happened?
Oh boy.
Anything recent?
Steve, you can go ahead, buddy. I can take my hand. Let's see.
When
Well,
we're
other
saying
than the fact
weird,
that-
what's the context with weird here? What type of weird we looking for is the real thing.
I mean, is there really types of weird? I mean, I figured it's just all.
Oh yeah, there's definitely lines of weird.
I mean,
For
here
sure.
in this city, I feel like weird is just weird. If it, you know, if it's not really a.
Honestly, I guess the only niche thing that I can find at the moment is just there was an announcement recently for another like Dynasty-esque game. I don't for the life of me remember exactly what it's called, but there's a lot of people that are very interested in that game. I don't know if I can try to find the name of the game just to be able to say. But that one's been getting a lot of eyes, and it's definitely got a very interesting style to it. I haven't really had anything like super out of the normal happen though.
I definitely got a story. Steve actually was part of the story, but not all of it.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess this kind of feeds into Steve. Unless you were looking it up, though, you gotta talk about something.
Oh no, go ahead and talk about what you gotta talk about, man.
All right, so this kind of goes into the wonderful resellers that are out there right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So,
Oh, boy.
You know, over the past month or two, I've had the pleasure of talking with a guy that's been reselling, you know, PlayStations and Xboxes, the next gen stuff, and you know, he got talking. And the first call I took, I was like, you know, just a normal call. I said, hey, you know, usual stuff. Thanks for calling GameStop, all that stuff. So I said, you know, all that. He's like, yeah, you know, are you gonna have any drops to PS5s? And I said, no. You know, not that I know of as of right now. I will let you know if there's anything coming up.
It's completely
And-
random, more or less.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, we get the same question about 50 times a day. So, and the answer never changes.
You should just tell them,
Uh,
use PlayStation's website if you want one so bad. Random drops.
Honestly,
That's all you can say.
Well, honestly, and I will be, you know, I'll advocate for our company too. We have been doing a better job of sending out emails, letting our pro members know when they drop. So I mean,
Can you even technically, working there, tell people to use PlayStation's website since it would go against like
Yeah.
GameStop sales,
I mean,
more or less?
For me, I will always encourage our company. But you know, for me and Steve, he knows me. When it comes to my job, I'm more morality. So
Absolutely.
if people are, you know, because I can tell the people that really want the consoles and want to play them, because I love.
You've
games.
been helping people, man. You've been helping.
It's-
You've helped quite a few people, actually.
And you know, it warms my heart every time. That's because I know these people, and I know I've known them for a while. I know they want to play these consoles. They have kids. They want them to grow up and be able to play them. And it breaks my heart that, you know, sometimes for Christmas they couldn't get them what they wanted, because that's the one thing they want. So
Yeah.
It kind of warms my heart and soul. It's just morality for me. So if someone comes in, you know, we don't have them there, obviously I'll point them towards somewhere else that they're going to be able to get it a lot more easily.
Yeah. And you have me to contact too. Whenever I get consoles in at my work, because I help receiving all the time and stuff, I pretty much know more or less. If we get PS5s in or something, usually I'll know. So like I'll let Isaiah or or whatever,
Yeah,
if we get some in.
We appreciate that greatly. That's we appreciate the connections we have. Of course, I follow accounts myself that keeps me updated.
Oh, of course, Wario64 is a big one.
He is amazing.
Shout out to that guy.
Wario64,
he helps people with everything.
He really does. I mean,
Game sales and everything. It's like it's his job, technically.
Right. I mean, I gotta give him credit, man. He's the only one that's he's the reason why I've been able to help people get these consoles. I follow the alerts. So
yeah.
But I mean, I guess I got kind of sidetracked. But that's the thing. But basically, focusing on this guy, he was an obvious reseller, and he's like, oh, that sucks. You guys don't have any. I'm trying to find one. It's hard to find them. And then he goes, yeah, because I just sold one a week ago for $2,200 to a customer. $2,200.
$2,200.
$2,200.
Look, look. 800 is the highest, man. Like 800 is the highest.
And listen to this. Here, I'll make it worse for you. It wasn't even a bundle. It was just the console itself. No games, no controllers, no PS Plus. It was just the console.
GameStop has been doing its best to stop scalpers by literally doing bundles, and it's very annoying to certain people because of that fact. But when you really think about it, when you're selling 3 games plus a controller plus some currency and stuff like that, it makes it harder for them to sell instead of it just being the raw console. Because if they have to pay $700, they're gonna have to hike it up a little bit more. But unfortunately, the downside is there are guys out there that are willing to take that chance because of the fact there are people that are willing to shell out $2,200.
And you know what? It took me 3 weeks straight when the console came out to get one, because I was like, oh, I work at Meijer, we'll probably get some in or whatever. Nope, online only. It's like, oh, beautiful. So that's wonderful. So it took me 3 weeks of I could tell the whole freaking story. Like when I first went for the console, like it was just so stupid. And there was a point, right? We had 2 PS5s. I think it was 2. It might have been 4. In these boxes that were in the back by our store director's office or whatever, that are in her office. They say our store number directly on them. They weren't allowed to sell them. They weren't allowed to sell these things. So it was like, okay, I can't even give you my money right now to buy this PS5. That was ridiculous. And then they were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna I don't think it was launch night, but it was Black Friday or whatever or something. I knew they had those back there, whatever. I drive up there at 6 a.m. or whatever, and then nope, I couldn't. They weren't selling them. They didn't have any, even though I knew they had some back there. And then there's the ordeal with Walmart's website, trash. Literally everything about that. I don't even think they still have fully fixed that, dude. People are. It's ridiculous.
Look, no. I got to jump in on that one. They actually have. That's so, Dennis. When you see
when I went for my Series X, I tried, and they had a system slowly going, but they didn't have it done.
Now, I can speak for them now, Dennis. They do have it fixed. I can, because I've been able. You would honestly be amazed at how quick I was able to go on there and buy it. It was pretty simple.
That's good.
They honestly, everybody that asks me about it, I recommend them the Walmart site because they have fixed it. Their queue system works great there. That's compared to any other site I've seen. And
I tell you, dude, when I went for my Series X, because I was like, okay, my Meijer store. Here's the thing with Meijer. This was a nightmare for Black Friday this previous year. I don't know how the heck I got this Halo Edition console, but I freaking did. They only had 2 of them. And you have 100,000+ people in line on Meier's freaking website. People who we have shipped, right? People could not get their groceries because of this nonsense. Lasted from 6 in the morning until they didn't get the website fixed till noon. It was ridiculous. So the shipped workers didn't even know what the heck to do because there was over 100,000 people from around the whole country or whatever that didn't even know what Meijer was, that was on this website. Like, oh, I want a console. I need this thing. And it was so stupid because it was also pickup only. So it was just so dumb. And for me, somehow when I even got in, I go to add this thing to cart. It's in cart or whatever. Then I go to purchase this thing. I'm shaking off 4 hours of sleep. Have to work that day at 10 a.m. or something for Thanksgiving because I'm doing an early shift. and freaking I don't know, it was a disaster. Somehow I got it. It was like in my cart, I paid for it, and then it reset me back in line, and then I got through again, and then like it ended up showing that it was like paid for or something. It didn't make any sense. It was so bad. People were not happy.
Oh yeah, I remember. That was my grandmother was trying to shop that day to get her groceries and couldn't even do it.
It
So
was
that
so
was,
horrible.
I will say, and that story I was on, it does continue. So this guy, $2,200. So that already had me going like, holy crap. And
Yeah.
then here to make it even worse, that same week, and Steve, you know this guy. The same week, he sold a Series X for $1,500. And I kid you not, he literally made $3K right there. He made over $3K just with 2 consoles. And then he goes on to say like, oh, you know, I just can't quite put my finger on it. And I'm staying in my head. I'm like, dude, you are the reason why people can't get them. You're part of the problem.
Seriously.
That's honestly, and I
Even doubling the price of a console is pushing it too far. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'd say maybe like 750, 800 ish maybe, but you're pushing your luck going further than that, and that's wrong.
I know, and that's it's so bad. And then so that fast forward to about a week, or actually this past weekend, we had a PS5 drop, and Steve wasn't there for this, but Steve, you'll love this.
Oh,
So, you know, and the guy, it was maybe 2 days before the launch. So the guy, he actually ended up coming up to GameStop. And keep in mind, I didn't know what he looked like. I've never seen the guy. I only talked to him over the phone. So he came in, and he was, you know, he started talking. I'm like, where have I heard that voice before? And of course, you know, Emily was there. She's like, oh my gosh, that's him. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the voice. So he came in, and you know, he comes up, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to return this PS5 bundle I got earlier this month. So he was actually trying to return the entire bundle he bought, games, everything. But that's why I'm glad GameStop did it the way they did, because he couldn't return it, because you can't return bundles like that. Now, personally, he probably could have, because everything was sealed, but that would have wiped their whole registers out, because we would have gave him all the money back for that. So he ended up like, I'm like, dude, you can do it, because I had to check with her, and I'm like, I mean, it would have screwed over our accounts, but he said, yeah, no, you know, I'll try to resell it, because I kind of, it sucked, but I didn't want him to wipe our whole registers out. So I was like, you know what, dude, see if you can sell it, honestly. And he's like, yeah, you know what, I'll try to sell it. And I didn't want to feed into it, but I'm like, you know, just try to sell it. He's like, yeah, you know, I'll probably throw it up, maybe $1,000. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, are you freaking kidding me? Another $1,000? Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
And so he leaves, and, you know, of course, now he's not really welcome back to our store anymore. But and then of course, fast forward to PS5 release day. It was, I can't even lie though, it was fun. Like, it's good to see people waiting in line. They were really excited for it.
Of course.
Most of the people I ended up knowing, so we even took like a little video up front. I went out, everybody was excited, they're all screaming. And that's the kind of stuff I love. That's what makes the job worth it, because you actually got people that love the game there. You know, that's you know, we got in there. Of course, there was one. Of course, there was one bad apple in that line, and it was a family. And typically, other stores, you know, you get one console per household, which I totally understand that's fine. GameStop, I didn't know they didn't have that in effect. So when we got to a family in line, they ended up buying 4. So 4 of them were gone. There was literally a console for each kid, for the wife and the husband. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's 4 right there. And then, of course, after that, they call like 6 times, and they're complaining because they didn't know they were bundles, but already paid for it. And I'm like, you didn't even know what you were paying for, and you did it. And I'm like, wow, this is, wow. But yeah, I don't want to rant about it. I hate doing that, talking about people, but man, it was just.
Maybe we could do a week where we have GameStop stories or something.
You know, actually, funny enough, I was about to mention, like, with that whole thing, like, I have plenty of horror stories working at GameStop, but honestly, the worst part about it, truth be told, is, especially from the viewpoint of the gaming community, there's no denying that in the past, certain GameStops have had some very shady practices. I've heard a lot of stories.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I've heard stories of them putting like GPGs on without mentioning it to anybody, signing people up to pro memberships without even asking them if they want to sign up for it. You know, selling
protection guarantees.
Yeah, GPGs are protection plans for the games. And it really sucks because everyone has it set out and just dead set. Like whenever I'm on a forum talking about video games, or I'm just trying to help spread positive and good information about stuff that is to the best of my knowledge and ability, that's the first thing is like, dude, you're a GameStop employee. Like this job is definitely a double-edged knife. You know, like it's so much fun, and the joy that you get to bring, and the positivity, and just honestly being in that element where it's like I get to go home and game, and then my job where I make money is about gaming. Like it's really nice, but it's also trying to escape that shadow from the past. It's like that ex-girlfriend that is always looming over your shoulder.
Oh
You
my
know
God.
she's
Yeah,
there, dude.
yeah.
Like
What an analogy.
it's so bad, dude, and it honestly breaks my heart because I wouldn't say necessarily that GameStop is like supremely better than what it is in the past, but there has been some genuine attempts both on corporate side and employee level to try to bring the company back up, and it seems like every other day someone's saying that, you know, GameStop is going bankrupt, and
Yeah,
you know,
they almost did. They almost did.
I won't lie,
Remember that?
Actually, it kind of helped them and it didn't at the same time.
that stock market dump actually saved the company. I
Yeah.
won't even lie. But yeah, dude, it sucks when you have a job and it's something that, you know, you do for a living, and there's so many people rooting for the downfall of it. And
Yeah.
the worst part about it is you can't even really be mad at them for it, because like I've seen so many stories once
It's
again, about
understandable.
just some crappy stuff happening.
Just like GameStop's had those different ideas of bringing back retro, you know, which I don't know if any of the stores have, but I think it'd be, because you look at like the Game Vault or the store in Marine City, what you call it at the moment, you look at them and they've gotten new buildings. They've gotten their own buildings now. Well, one of them didn't have his own building. Now they got their own building. The other one got a bigger building expansion. And it's like retro sells a lot. So like, and GameStop, I know that they've had like their higher ups talk about this idea of bringing back retro, which would be a really good idea, especially for people with trade-ins. Like, I don't know how the idea of trade-ins would work, but I'm just saying like, it definitely would like explode, you know. I don't know.
I'm glad you said that, Dennis. No, that's honestly, I mean, and going off what Steve said, that shadow. But I think the hardest thing for us to come out of that shadow is trades. I hate to say it, but that's the hardest thing, because I won't even lie. I mean, there's some stuff I see people bring in, like they'll bring in PS2 stuff, you know, PS1 going way back, and it's like,
and you got to tell them
we
to
have to
go.
turn them down.
we turn them down because we just don't take them. And it's like
you got to tell them to go to
most
Game Vault, you know.
And then, you know, I think, and this is the most common thing I hear every day. It's, well, you know, I paid $60 for this. And trust me, I want to give them more in value. I really do. It's you know, it sucks that, you know, we don't give as much as what people would think. But I think that's the biggest shadow, honestly, right there. I think that's going to be hard for us to come out of. Honestly, Steve, you said it perfectly, man. It's a double-edged sword. It's, you come in and there's customers that make it worth your day, seeing that kid, the smile on his face, because that's how you were when we were kids. You know, that's, except in our day, it was Toys R Us, Blockbuster, you know, classics. But,
Funko
you know,
Land.
it's
Shout out
Funko
to
Land,
them.
all that stuff, you know, that was, but it sucks. You know, there's going to be, I feel like that goes for any company, though. You know, you're going to have your downfalls, you're going to have your downsides to everything, but if you make the job worth it, you keep your morality strong, you know, you see why the job matters. Because if you think about it, here's something I thought about the other day. How many game-focused national retailers do you see in this nation right now?
Exactly. GameStop is, isn't
We're
it?
the only
like,
one.
yeah.
We're the only one.
All the rest
Like,
died out. All the rest died.
Right. We're
all the major
only
ones.
one. And this is why I always say, I'm like, because there was a customer that came in before and they were like, you know, I feel like this place is going to shut down. And I told him, you know, and he was a really nice guy. I said, hypothetically, think about this. If GameStop did close, where would you go to get your games? Because you'd have to go to supermarkets. You'd have to go
Walmart, Meijer, you know.
Right. There wouldn't be a game
specific store. Yeah. And it's not like your stores, your mom and pop shops like Game Vault, where you can go day one to buy your game, you know, or have midnight launches. Like, and the thing with midnight launches too is the fact that Walmart's closed at midnight now. Meijer's closed at midnight now. They're no longer 24 hours. So it's like, where do we go to get our games at midnight? That's the thing. Like, if I want a game at midnight and I want a physical copy, I'm going to pre-order from GameStop if it's something I feel like I need at midnight release instead of the next day,
Right.
you know?
The biggest
Right.
thing that also I see is like really nice about GameStop that a lot of people I feel like don't appreciate is our general console protection plans and game protection plans.
Cheap.
Which is
When I
appreciated.
worked at Target, the only thing their protection plans covered for the consoles were usually like any mechanical failures. It never caused, or it wasn't covered by accidental or anything
Same for
other.
Best Buy. It's the same for Best Buy. It doesn't cover nearly, like, literally,
And the-
GameStop covers anything.
And the crazy thing about it is GameStop's replacement plan is literally, okay, you pay like $35, maybe $40, and you come into the store, you tell us what's wrong, we swap it out with a whole new console, send you on your way. With Target, it was you had to call a hotline. Now, on top of also paying like $90 to an extra $100, and then it had to be mailed out to a warehouse, get repaired. It would take usually about a week or two, and then if it couldn't be fixed, they would send you back a new one. Like, the trade-off with that is like you can literally, I feel like GameStop is the best for the sole fact of just being able to be like, hey, in and out, same day.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's especially, I mean, you know, and one thing I will say is, you know, Nintendo Switch games I can understand. Cartridges, I mean, if you mess that thing up, you must have hit it with a sledgehammer or something, because there's not much stuff you can do to it. But, I mean, disc games especially, for those that still play physically. I mean, I still like my discs. I still collect them. That's, you know, it's something I like to look at. I have a little collection here. But literally for games, they're like anywhere from like maybe $1 to $5. And I'm like, if that covers anything for a year, that's cheaper than most other places. Even Best Buy, their cheapest game protection plan's $10. Like, that's just from working there. I know that. So
Literally.
if you only pay $4, I mean,
You
I think
can
I can-
grab a random thing that you get a protection plan for and literally smash it in front of us. We don't cover the obviously the damage to the property for the company, but like the console itself, like you could literally do that and then turn around and return it, and we won't tell you no.
Yeah.
right.
Like it's absolutely.
Is there
mental.
a expiration date for the console protection plans? Is it like
So
2 years or
usually,
something?
like- yeah,
it's like
usually
either
they're
1
about
or
a year or
2
two.
years.
That's what I figured.
Um,
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
And they don't
I mean,
stack with the manufacturer warranty as well. So that's also a really
Yeah.
important thing to bring up as well.
Yes. I mean, granted, usually most console issues we see there, they're usually within the first year or two. So, I mean, that's... Granted, if you make it outside the 2 years, most people that have consoles, they're pretty much safe at that point. Unless you have some kind of damage that you accidentally did yourself. I mean, that's just from, honestly, the same old thing every day. You know?
And the thing
you
is
see
like
it-
bringing in newer consoles too. Like, I compared like basically the price point of when I took in my Xbox One after I got my Series X. Like, what's GameStop gonna give me versus Game Vault? And then basically what I did is, well, I took it into Game Vault, but the price was about the same between Game Vault and GameStop. So like if Game Vault would have gave me less, I would have went to GameStop. And if they would give me
most
more,
have
cool,
been
you
doing.
know, because the only reason why I do that is because sometimes console, when you take in a console to GameStop, the prices could be iffy, you know. Oh, and I think I could have sold it on eBay maybe more than I did taking it in, but I mean, it's fine, you know. I didn't need a ton for it.
Well, yeah, it's good to have different avenues for it, too. I mean, that's good.
Oh my gosh, guys in chat, not even talking about games.
What?
There are buddies in our buddies in chat. Just the stuff they're saying, it's ridiculous. It's you don't need to know.
Is he telling? Is it like something really corny? Like, dude, can you guys just please GameStop right now?
No, it's worth.
It's very
It's non-gamer.
raunchy.
So
Yeah.
It's a little bit different
Yeah.
than that.
Instructions unclear, stuck in microwave. Instructions unclear, stuck in microwave.
Oh my gosh, my eyes are gonna start twitching.
It honestly, like, yeah, I didn't mean to derail the entire conversation with like GameStop stuff, but like, man, honestly, this retail workers as a whole, like, I'm not trying to like toot our own horn, but we really are built different. Like, that the whole like COVID process and everything that we had to go through and things.
Oh
that
yeah,
we
working
still
at
go
Meyer,
through
it was
on
a
the day.
process too, for sure. It was
Absolutely.
It was
I'm
something.
not even willing to say that.
Dude,
it was
literally,
even,
like,
worse
okay,
right
and it might have been worse for me than you guys. I don't know, because I work in grocery, right? And grocery department, that was like hell working. Like I worked like 8 days in a row. They had unlimited overtime, and those first few days, dude, like we were helping unload the trucks. The stuff on trucks was going straight to the floor. Like it was nuts. It might be off topic, but it was
so
something
easy.
never.
You know, the whole transition to COVID was just so easy.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues whatsoever. You know, I might have slipped once, but you know, it didn't happen. You know, I mean, might have broke my leg, but who cares? You know, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it was, you know, 2020 is, and I can speak as that year in a whole. That was.
Yeah, we pretty much forget about that year. There was no Marvel content.
You know,
there was not many games. Like that year's just it doesn't exist anymore. You know.
There wasn't anything.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's like I think
you know what we got that year? It made the year so good. It made the year so great. We got The Last of Us Part 2. We got The Last of Us Part 2. Right? It was such a good game.
Yeah.
Right?
I never played it.
Credit where credit's due. It's got good graphics. It's got some other good stuff, but it's not. Yeah, the second half of the story, it's so too hard to play, man. It's so difficult to play through.
It might be The Last of Us that played that game.
I'll have a topic on Last of Us next week. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but actually, there is something going around related to that game that we'll talk about next week if we'll all get together or whatever. Related to that. No, it's just related to The Last of Us as a topic as a whole. Like there's things. Well, and we'll talk about that next week related to Last of Us.
now.
No. Yeah, I wish frickin' Smash would continue, but
all I'm gonna say is Waluigi's gonna get his redemption in Mario Strikers in June. That's all I'm gonna say. He's gonna light people up. So.
Okay, yeah. Mario Strikers. Can't wait for that.
Waluigi never forgets.
Nope.
No. I mean, me and Isaiah played Mario Party together once, Superstars, and it was like Waluigi was mad.
I know.
I genuinely want to know if they make another Smash game, like if they're actually gonna add Waluigi one day. I genuinely want to know if that's ever going to actually happen.
It makes me sad to think that there's a potential future where this might be like the last Smash game potentially.
It should be. It genuinely. I hate to say that it should be, but it ended on such a perfect note that I don't want them to reboot it. I don't want them to make a new one with like 15, 20 characters or something. It's just there's nowhere to go from Ultimate. You know,
it's hard to top it too, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's video games. The game.
How can you top it?
Exactly.
I mean, it's like what would you even call it? You got Smash
Yeah.
Bros. Ultimate, and then what beats Ultimate? I mean, honestly,
Smash Bros. Super Ultra Mega Lord of.
Mega.
And here's another problem. They can't.
Something with Digimon.
Yeah,
Sure, they're gonna add a freaking Agumon to the game. Yeah.
No, they should have the Big Daddy from Bioshock in there.
Yes, that'd be
my
a great
God.
addition. It'd be a wonderful addition.
now that
Bioshock Edition.
And I wish PlayStation dug PlayStation All-Stars out of the hole it's in and give us a sequel to that, because there was so much potential with PlayStation All-Stars to get a sequel, because the gameplay was
fun.
Yeah, and the gameplay was unique. It was its own style and twist. It was its own thing. So it was one of those games that just it had 4 DLC characters, 2 DLC packs, and ended up just dying. I don't think it made enough money. The studio shut down that made the game, but so many people out there have asked for if they make a PlayStation All-Stars 2, the internet's going to blow up. So many people want this. Someone needs to contact Sony directly and be like, you know how much money you're going to make if you make a PlayStation All-Stars 2 with all your PlayStation characters? You can even add the original Kratos and the new Kratos. You can add in Atreus. You can add in Last of Us characters. You can add in all kinds of stuff. You can add in frickin' Spider-Man for all we care. You own it.
hey, take my money.
Yeah. For real. There's so much
You can even update past characters, like add new, like the new Kratos.
Yeah.
Have Atreus in his moveset. That'd be fantastic to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you gotta say it all in Kratos' voice though.
all he says is boy. That's all I can say.
Exactly.
Boy, read this. That's all he pretty much does the entire game. Like,
I genuinely don't know how Ragnarok's gonna top that game, man. I don't know. I don't know how. I have no clue how. I have some theories, such as them bringing back the sword. Not his blades, obviously. That was in the first game, but the other weapon I could see them bringing back is the sword he stabs himself with at the end of God of War 3. That he
just the Olympus sword, I think.
Yeah,
is
Sword of Olympus.
Yeah. I could see them bringing that back, and that'd be pretty hype, giving it its own moveset. I could see them doing that. I'm curious.
Shoot, even in God of War Ragnarok, that'd be amazing to see him draw out. Like, he hid the freaking the Blades of Chaos for so long. Like, who's to say that he doesn't have that giant sword? I mean, who knows if it's got the power? But that would be.
That's true. He would have to be hiding it somewhere, unless it was just unless
it was still in him when he fell.
You're right. You're right.
Still probably my favorite moments when he got the blades back.
Yeah, I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it.
Environment
Because that's the best thing too, is that they didn't spoil God of War 2018 at all. They did not tell us we were getting the Blades of Chaos at all. I didn't think we were going to. I didn't. I genuinely thought he was done with those blades. He wasn't going to use them again. But sure enough, he did, and it was such a big moment.
Dude, it's practically trademark for him at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I won't even lie to you. I still listen to the soundtrack because the music was beautiful.
It's really good soundtrack, definitely. And I think next year's going to be really good for Sony as well with Spider-Man 2, and I don't know what else they have going, but shoot, there's another topic that I didn't actually mention that I don't know if you guys heard, but Ubisoft is apparently for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I did hear about that.
Yeah, so I don't know if who's going to buy them, but I don't think Microsoft will due to monopoly purposes. I think them spending the amount of money they did on Activision Blizzard was just so massive that I don't think they will be able to. But I think Sony might go for Ubisoft. I do.
I mean, did you also see the Epic and Sony deal that they did?
I don't know if I've seen that. Epic Games
So
Sony deal.
Sony and Epic, if I remember this correctly, did a $1 billion deal. Like, Sony gave them $1 billion. That is it. That's all we know.
Interesting.
So, my thought process is, here on the PC side of things, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn have released on the Epic Game Store. Previously, like, it was before it even hit Steam.
Okay.
I think what's going on right now, and this is just a shot in the dark, just me throwing a dart, so I may be completely wrong, but what I think they're doing is it's possible that Epic Games might start getting some more PlayStation ports. And Lord forbid, I'm going to say something, but I think maybe either Spider-Man or Ghost of Tsushima might be coming to PC. I don't think, I feel like they'll go Ghost of Tsushima, but I don't think they'll go Spider-Man only because the movie side of Sony. Because the movie side of Sony is a whole different breed from the video game side of Sony with PlayStation. Yes. So I think that the contractual issues there would be kind of a nightmare with Steam and or Epic or whatever, and Sony with owning Spider-Man. So that's a whole different thing. So I don't think Spider-Man will end up on PC.
No, I could see Ghost though. Ghost for sure.
I absolutely could see. I could see Ghost for sure. And the thing is that and the thing is with games coming to PC, that are PlayStation exclusives, I think it's cool, and it won't be right away for, like, let's say Ragnarok. It'll probably be like 2 or 3 years at least, give or take, before it comes to PC.
The last God of War, you know, I mean, it took a few years.
I mean,
yeah.
Hey, maybe maybe part of that deal is maybe they might have a PC edition when Ragnarok comes out. Maybe that might be like a general surprise that we all get.
That'd be nuts. That would be the biggest shocker ever.
Like, Halo Infinite is, I mean, the whole Halo series was Xbox only, and now you can play the new multiplayer on PC.
Yeah, you can play all of them on PC, yeah. Because Microsoft owns Windows and all that, so...
No, that's true, right.
That's why I'm not stressing about the acquisitions and stuff, man. Like, with the potential of, like, Fallout now becoming...
PlayStation exclusives on PC? No!
Break your chair again.
Yeah.
It's like well, let people enjoy that. I'm happy that more people got to be able to play God of War 2018, you know, because it's such an amazing, great game. It's even if it's not right away, because it probably won't be, but that might be part of Sony's deal, with, like, Epic and all that. That the games can't come out right away on PC. That it'll be a year or two after, at least, give or take, for them to release on PC. But still, It's really
They don't
cool.
give PlayStation its time to shine before it drops on PC. I mean, I feel like that's kind of
Yeah, that's yeah.
why. So they still have their kind of exclusive
Mhm.
side to it. But I mean, hey, I'm cool with PC
Yeah.
getting some of those games. That's
Oh,
great.
there's another thing that I just realized that I thought about that I want to absolutely bring up, and that is PlayStation and Xbox adding advertisements to their games, or at least they're free to play games. That's
Like
not.
during the middle of the end scene, there's an ad for Taco Bell.
Honestly, I'm getting tired of. I won't even lie. I'm getting tired of advertisements. I'm sorry.
I think it's crazy, like even sites like Hulu, I'm gonna call them out. Like you pay for their subscription service and you still get ads. And
HBO Max
it's
is the same
really-
way unless you get the upgraded version of it. Like
Yeah,
regular 1
HBO
month you do.
Ultra Maximum.
Yep.
Gotta
Whatever
pay
it
for
is.
the Diamond Ultra Deluxe Edition.
yeah, seriously, dude. It's so
Pay up $120.
You guys ever heard of Disney X times plus times minus? That's where you actually get the upgrade version, no ads. Shit.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get it, maybe the free-to-play stuff, but just don't do it so it's to the point where it's ungodly repetitive, because then
Yeah.
people are just going to start, turning away from it.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's in free to play
Sure.
games, it depends on how they do it, what they do, because it's really stupid and not a very good business decision to mess with like your gamers who are in the middle of doing stuff. If it's maybe at the main menu kind of thing, maybe, but I don't know. Like Fortnite having ads, can you imagine that? Like,
Oh boy.
in the like,
Well, especially with
just-
like them having links with all these different artists too. You already know, like we could see Doja Cat music videos. We can see like just artists like that, and it's like check their new album out, pre-order, pre-save it now, and it's just plastered everywhere. Like
yeah. Like we don't want that. Like
Do
I
you-
understand.
are you
I understand you're a multi-billion-dollar business, but like as for Sony, they make all their money off of their first-party exclusives at launch. That's why their PlayStation Plus new subscription isn't going to have those games at launch, unlike Game Pass, because Microsoft has more money than Sony. That is absolutely true, but Sony makes a lot of money off their first-party titles when they release, such as God of War, Horizon, and Spider-Man, and whatever else they have. So, lost my train of thought, but related to PlayStation Plus and all
Is
that.
Isaiah will be available in 3 seconds, but first, let's ask you a question. Are you suffering from foot fungus? If you are, we have the answer for you. Oh, hold on, time's up. Okay, hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that advertisement.
yeah, no, literally, that's what it's gonna be. Like
I didn't pay for Discord Nitro. Sorry.
immersion might be potentially ruined. Like you're in the middle of this really impactful cutscene. Maybe it's getting you to start to tear up, and then suddenly Arby's. Like and immediately it's just like, well, that just excuse my French, but that just fucking died. Like that's it. That's over, man. Like
Where you get to that point and it's like, hey guys, look, the McRib's back.
Or like at
Yeah.
loading screens, instead of like looking at like the artwork in the background, it's just like a 30-second ad before you load into the
Yeah.
next
That is-
area.
Look, I'm sure you can relate to this. Honestly, the only loading screen to me that I actually kind of liked watching was Spider-Man's, because they actually had the different poses in it. So that was kind of cool. But I don't know.
Heard
Honestly,
when,
Yeah.
loading screens though, if
Heard-
you have art in that though.
heard when new PlayStation Plus comes out, any games that cost over $34 will come with free trials. Yeah, I think that'll be the case as well. There might be free trials for games with this new PlayStation Plus premium thing, for games that
Plus
cost a certain
advertisements.
amount. Yeah. Well, no. No, we don't
You get
need
a free
advertisements.
Trial, but you get ads during them.
No, we don't need ads on our games. That I really hope they don't make those decisions. There's literally this one YouTuber I watch who said if they add ads to their video games, he's just going to become a PokeTuber, and he doesn't want to do that.
Oh my gosh.
What is everyone just going to become a Nintendo and PC gamer now because Sony and Xbox are going to be stupid?
I mean, honestly, I could see it happen though. Shoot.
They make
Makes me
enough
think
money.
of Sword Art Online abridged to the first episode when he logs in.
Oh gosh.
And the first thing I see is just ads for everything on billboards everywhere as soon as he logs in.
honestly, yeah, that's pretty much what it's gonna be. Like I hate to say it, but truthfully, if it ends up becoming a thing and we have no choice but to just accept it and go with the times, like I would hopefully prefer an option where at least it does it in loading screens. Like
Well, I mean, there kind of
Yeah.
pretty much already is ads in a way, like as far as like, especially with Amazon Prime, like Prime Gaming, any game related to Prime Gaming, as soon as you load in, first thing, boom, get your new skin, Prime Gaming, log in now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And as
Yeah.
much as it's like, yeah, you know, you get the cool skin if you got the hookup, whatever, it's still an ad.
And I don't think it's as
Realistically.
it's not as huge of a deal for free to play games. The even multiplayer, if they do it the way that you're kind of saying, is not.
If it's if it's like ads like that is like related to the game or something, so to speak, then you know what I mean. Then it's like, all right, you know, at least it's about the game or
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
You know,
It's just like we
something
don't
that.
need this on like exclusive single player story driven games, you know, where we're trying to escape everything in the world, and then you're all of a sudden giving me ads for things in the planet that we don't need right now. It's like, oh, I don't want to eat.
Games to escape.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to eat. I'm trying to eat healthy when I'm over here gaming, and then you're giving me a frickin' McDonald's advertisement over here because they're your sponsor. Like, come on.
And then the next advertisement is, you know, obesity is crazy in the United States right now.
I can't wait for the clips of like your character like dies from being lit on fire, and then it cuts to crispy chicken sandwich. Or something.
There was a meme related to that for Elden Ring, I think. Character like dying, and then that happens.
Where
Yeah.
dawn's coming down from the stars, and right before it hits,
Yeah.
Applebee's. It was so good.
Beat this boss and get
No.
a free 4-piece.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they did targeted ads, it'd be pretty funny. But at the same time, like it still probably would get old, and I'm sure there'd be people that genuinely would tilt from it, especially when it's just like, "Hey, get good, noob." That's the best way they could do it, you know?
Can you imagine playing like a racing game or like Forza or something, and you crash in another car and it says, and that's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150.
Absolutely, man.
Or it mentioned some meme related to Paul Walker or something.
Oh my god.
I know.
Fast and the Furious ad starts playing.
It starts playing See You again in the background.
Time for the box.
It starts playing See You again in the background.
Absolutely.
God, man, that was,
Yeah, no.
that was awful. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, that's just truthfully like I don't know. It just really depends on how they do it and approach it.
How the
It
strategy
couldn't be
is.
too bad, and I'm sure it's something that's everyone could get used to. But I mean, the loading screens are already there because of the limited resources we have to allow us to load our systems, may I say, to load the world, so that way everything's properly rendered.
Which is why
I'm
which is
sure-
why the newer systems like loading screens are just so dang quick, because it's like we want to just go, we want to play the game, we don't really need the loading screens. Horizon Forbidden West, they had to slow down the load times in the game specifically so you could look at the suggestions on things to do and stuff for players, you know, in the game, which is kind of crazy, and it's pretty amazing that they're doing that now.
Absolutely.
You know?
Indeed.
So
Those loading tips and tricks actually help you out.
they're supposed to, yeah. So
Like, I know some of them are just like blatantly obvious though, like
oh, of course.
friggin' swing stuff to attack.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, really?
If you use the shield, it will actually protect you against damage.
Dude, I'm not gonna go
block with shield to negate damage. Like, oh, really?
That's why they're
Try
that.
rolling.
That's when that's why I like when games. It's not like. It's not skip tutorial or play tutorial. It's just when you start the game, there's tutorials as you play, kind of like how Elden Ring started, where it's like the tutorial's there as you start the game, but you're playing the game at the same time, and the tutorial in a way is optional because it's the things on the ground that you click. And that's nice when games just the tutorial is part of the game and not taking away from the experience when you just want to figure things out yourself, but it's just there just because it's there and it's fine. In certain games, you
you're
know?
learning it as you're starting the game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, I definitely really liked that about Elden, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Sony's first party titles pretty much do the same thing. Spider-Man did it. Pretty sure God of War did it, and Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, I'm pretty sure did it.
Helps for especially any like new player that's, you know what I mean, hopped on. They don't know you know, like the background, if it's like a series of games or something like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? You always
Yeah,
get that
for sure.
little bit of what have you.
Yeah, for real.
Dude.
Well, you know,
So I think we're about done, right? Wrap it up, I
Personally,
guess?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think we're good to wrap up personally.
Yeah. Until next week. So thanks guys so much for tuning in to our first podcast on the channel. It's live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, this is re-uploaded. First time. Hope you all enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. You know, check these guys out. Whoever streams and does YouTube or whatever. You know, links should be in the description. And yeah, we'll see you guys all next week when it comes to podcast news and talking about video games stuff as a whole.
For sure, for
And
sure.
maybe we'll have more people, maybe we'll have less. I have no idea. It all always
Smell you
depends.
later.
So you know. All right, so see you guys later.